Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today is the 28th of May, Tuesday, 2024. I don't know which journal entry this one is, but let's just dive into the content I want to talk about in this journal entry. So I recently finished this book called Into the Magic Shop, and I talked a little bit about it in the previous journal entry. This one I'm reading a different book, and I want to mention what I've learned so far after finishing almost 60% of it. So the book is titled Don't Believe Everything You Think, and thinking is the present, which distracts us from the present moment, and that's where most of our suffering comes from. So that's why I think the slogan of the book is why your thinking is the beginning to ending the suffering or the source of the suffering, which is interesting. So this book, I think, derives a lot of knowledge and concepts from religious context, and that's why I think it's very interesting and helpful to read it for anyone that is a layperson and is just interested in why with such a complex. And I really enjoyed reading this after finishing Into the Magic Shop because I think there's a lot of concepts that overlap and actually helps me solidify questions that I had previously. And reading this book after Into the Magic Shop by Jim Doty kind of helped me understand these concepts even further, so that's why I really enjoyed it. And pretty much the book is quite simple to read, but there will be things, so don't underestimate it because of the simple language. There's a lot of behind the scene concepts that you have to contemplate over, because in the end we are talking about a topic that is one of the most complicated ever in human civilization, and that is why we tend to suffer, right? No matter with technological revolutions, with our iPhones, I mean, things are going beyond our imagination with even now generative AI, but we still struggle to battle these thousands of years of struggles from our ancestors, and that is the simple fact that our mind tends to suffer, that we tend to suffer. And this book really does help you why you suffer. I mean, obviously, I think everyone is on a different scale of why we suffer, but this book helps you kind of solidify interesting questions that you come across when you are suffering. Basically, I'm going to sum it up with this sentence. It helped me understand and sum up this book, and that is the following: thinking is the source of your suffering, because if you reflect on your happiest moments in life, most of the time you are not thinking. And that's why athletes, or what we call in the flow state people, are the happiest. And this has definitely happened to you also. That was a very long sentence, but that sort of wraps up the book. I think that just being aware enough to realize that you are thinking a lot is the antidote of you not suffering, because you digress from thinking too much. So a really good analogy is a speedometer. So in a car, you have the speedometer to see how many miles per hour you're going, and it's kind of same if you were to switch some words and say meter, which is a very funny way of saying it, but just to help you understand, I think it's relevant that your brain and your mind thinking to a certain extent will bring messiness and distractions and stress and anxiety into your life. And if you reflect over all the past happy moments and all the past sad moments, you'll realize that the happiest moments you've had is because you weren't really thinking, and the saddest moments you had is because you were thinking a lot. That you innately are a joyful, happy being, but because of our day-to-day monotonous life, we tend to suffer from it because we're thinking too much about it. But if you just have that simple awareness and insight that helps you trigger, gives you a cue to be aware. So that wraps up the video, guys, and I'll see you.